Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about the season premiere of The Vampire Diaries, a show that I love. And all summer I've been worried because Stefan has been buried at the bottom of a lake somewhere and nobody knew about it. And so I've just been concerned about Stefan and ready for this show to come back. So I think there were a lot of questions left from the last season finale. So when Bonnie died, I think a lot of people thought she was dead for good. But thankfully, you know, we've got Jeremy around, Jeremy who sees dead people. And so that means Bonnie's still around. The crazy thing is that nobody else knows that she's dead except for him. It'll definitely be interesting to see what happens with her this season because, I mean, really, how long can she stay like this? I mean, because after a while, that's gonna get old. I guess because Jeremy's the only one that can see her, maybe we'll finally see some kind of real relationship development for the two of them. That would be kind of cool. Now, Elena and Caroline are headed off to college. They're going to Whitmore College. And once they get to school, they kind of end up with a roommate that they weren't expecting to have. Her name is Megan. And poor Megan doesn't last the episode. Basically, by the end of the episode, Megan is dead. This school that they're going to, Elena's dad is somehow connected with it. And when their roommate shows up dead, they find a picture of her, Megan, and Elena's dad. They find a picture of the two of them on this girl's phone. So obviously something is up. The other thing we get is that their roommate Megan was killed by a vampire, which means there's more vampires on this college campus. So let's talk about Silas, right? Because obviously that was the huge news at the end of last season, is that Stefan is Silas's doppelganger. And so when Silas took his true form after Bonnie died, he looked like Stefan, which of course was a problem for Stefan because Stefan ended up at the bottom of the freaking lake, like locked up in a locker somewhere. And now I must say Silas surprised me because I was expecting him to just kind of masquerade as Stefan until eventually somebody figured it out. But that's not really his plan. I mean, like, he pretty much outs himself in this episode. Jeremy figures out that it's not Stefan pretty quickly. Hello, because he's a hunter. And then once Damon realizes that, the game is on to try to figure out where is Stefan. The other thing about Silas that was really interesting is that we get that he's really interested in Catherine for some reason. And at one point he even says, like, I'll tell you where Stefan is if you give me Catherine, which of course Damon is more than willing to do. But Catherine, even as a human, is really crafty, and so she manages to escape. Let's talk about Catherine for a hot second because I know a lot of people have been asking, you know, yes, she took the cure, yes, she's a human, but why can't she just turn again? She's scared to try, you know, because obviously for her to become a vampire, she'd have to die, which is a risk, obviously, because if the cure is going to not let her turn again, then she would just be dead. Okay, you guys, let's talk Stelena and Delena. If you're a Delena fan, you definitely had some fantastic moments in this episode. Basically, as soon as the episode opened, we had this, like, major makeout session between the two of them. They were in the bed, and then they were on the couch, and then she was just taking a bath, and it was just like, they were pretty much everywhere. And you get that that's basically what they did all summer long. Now, on to the Stelena side of things. I definitely felt the Stelena love tonight, right? Because Elena is having dreams about Stefan, or she keeps thinking about him and she feels this kind of feeling that something's not right. And really, I believe that's because the two of them are like tied together because they're supposed to be together, people. Come on, just give in to it. But obviously there's some connection between the two of them. It may be because the two of them are doppelgangers. Whatever the reason is, she can't stop thinking about him and she really feels like something is wrong. Of course, she's right, but she doesn't know that yet. The other kind of Stelena goodness came from Stefan. Poor Stefan, right, who's under the water, basically drowning over and over and over again. And I guess what he's been doing down there is he's just been daydreaming. So he's been daydreaming conversations with Damon. And finally, Dream Damon starts to suggest that Stefan kind of flipped the switch. And because he's suffering and he's kind of hopeless, so Dream Damon tells him, flip the switch and then it won't matter because you won't feel anything. But Stefan's really fighting against that because he knows how hard he worked to come back from that before. Right at the end of the episode, right, you guys, I was actually yelling at my TV at this point. It seemed like he was gonna do it, and I was like, no, Stefan, don't do it! And then Elena shows up. So instead of Dream Damon, we had Dream Elena. And she basically just, you know, caresses his face and tells him, don't do it, hold on, do it for me. And you know that that is the thing that's gonna motivate Stefan, and so I just loved that. And I was glad, because I don't want to see him go back down that road again. Like, really quickly, I'm just going to mention Matt and Rebecca. I mean, at one point at the beginning of the episode, we see the two of them in bed. So I guess that whole we're going to go on this trip with no strings attached thing didn't work. But then all of a sudden this other head peeks out from under the cover, and I guess they're having like a threesome? Like, really, CW? Like, I was a little shocked by that. So this chick, Nadia, who they met wherever they were at, she basically got them drunk, she drugged them somehow, and she stole all their stuff. And then she shows back up in Mystic Falls, and Matt sees her and tries to approach her in a dark alley. Really, Matt? Really? And of course she's not alone, and something magical happens. I don't know what happened. All I know is that he passed out, and that now we have Nadia in Mystic Falls, and I'm sure we're going to be finding out who the heck she is. I thought it was a great premiere episode. I mean, I think they raised lots of questions and introduced a lot of plot lines that I'm sure will be happening this season. I am excited that TVD is back. So, you guys, make sure that you subscribe. Click on the little button on your screen because I do TVD reviews every single week. I'm also going to be reviewing the originals, so make sure you check that out. But when you subscribe, then you get those goodies in your feed, and then you can see this face all the time. Okay, guys, make sure you tell me what you thought about this episode down in the comment section below. You can tell me if you're Stelena, woohoo, or Delena, ugh, and we'll hash it out in the comment section. Okay, guys, thanks for watching as always, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.